So obviously, let's start with Ashe and S tier. I think Ashe is gonna be like the character of the season. Just like I think she'll probably be the best character in the game, if I had to guess. So Ashe, without a doubt, S tier. Let's just change S tier to like meta. Obviously, I'm making this tier list like with comp in mind. So ranked and pubs. So like where I put these people obviously may be different, but remember this is like competitive speaking. Obviously though, Ashe for sure gonna be meta. The double dash is crazy for movement people. The double portal, while the portal also got buffed in itself, is crazy. Her tether's like more centered now, so I mean, the tether's already really good. I don't know why people don't play Ashe. Like, tether's underrated, I'm telling you. Especially with like the shield meta we're in. I think it's really annoying to play around like shield characters when you're tethered, so I think she's already being slept on, but after the assault buffs, she'll just be way better in general. But alter, C tier, I think you can make her work, but like you just have way better options, so I don't really see the point in playing her. And she's in skirmisher, so that's also the problem. With how they're balancing the game right now, anyone who isn't going to be assault and support, I feel like still is just not going to be anywhere near as good. Other than controllers, since they get ring console on their defensive, so that's like the only exceptions it feels like. Ballistic, B. I can't tell if he's B or A. Like, he's definitely going to be really insane if you're a fighting team. But I think the goal of the new season is you want to build around Ashe. So you want like a comp that works with her. And I feel like Ballistic and Ashe don't have like that much synergy. But I don't know. He's A or B. I'm going to go B for now. And I'm going B just because I think he still gets outshined by a lot of characters. But like, if you saw, he gets 4 whistlers with perks. And imagine getting shot 4 times by his tactical. You're just hating your life at that point, right? Bang, obviously, Bang's already a really good character, regardless of assault changes. And now she's in assault, obviously, so yeah, I mean, Bangalore's just Bangalore. I feel like you don't have to say much about her. She's just always solid. And she's in the class that's getting buffed, so W, basically. C tier, just because recon scan. If you're going to run someone who can recon scan, I think you're going to run Bloodhound. Because I think all the other characters in recon are pretty awful, so yeah, I don't know. I think recon is just not that good right now. Like, all the characters in that class kind of suck, but Bloodhound will be the best. That's what I'm thinking. Catalyst? I think Catalyst is still A tier, honestly. Her wall is just really good. I don't know. I feel like she's always a consistent controller legend just because she's she's the only flexible controller legend, I'd say, for the most part. Caustic somewhat also, but she's aggressive and defensive. So it's hard to like compete with her unless they hard nerf her. Caustic, I want to put in A also. And hear me out. Not A might be too high. I don't know. I'm gonna leave Caustic here for now, and I'm gonna explain later why I think he might be higher. And I'm gonna skip him for now, but we need to get to another character first. Conduit though, C. I think out of support, she's one of the worst. And support losing double heal is like pretty huge next season. So I really don't think there's any reason to really run Conduit, but she's just like decent, I guess. I don't know. Like, she's not going to be as bad as the D tiers, so I'm going to keep her here. But I don't see any reason to run her over like Gibby or something. Low Wretched. Crypto, D tier. I mean, it's Crypto. I don't know. He doesn't really counter anyone in the meta anymore, and I don't think, like, with what I think the meta will be next season, I don't think he'll counter anyone there either, so pretty useless. Still think you'd rather just run Hound if you're going to run a recon, but I don't really think people will run recon in general. Alright, here's my sleeper meta pick. It's Fuse. Now let me say why. Okay, well actually, let me put Gibby up here in meta, because I think Gibby's still going to stay meta because he still doesn't have counters. Alright, here's my thought process. Here's the comp that I think is going to be the best in the new season. I think it's going to be Gibby, Ashe, and Fuse. All 3 of these. I think this is the meta. Whether people run it or not is a mystery, but this is what I want to play. The reason being, Gibby pairs very well with Ashe. Gibby will still be good because, like, higher time to kill and purple being max shield, shotguns are going to be, like, insane. I know SMGs are getting buffed too, but if everyone runs SMGs and you just force shotgun fights when everyone's running SMGs with Gibby, he's still insane. And then also, higher time to kill. The bubble can actually keep you alive at least for a little bit. But the reason why he pairs good with the meta, though, regardless, is Ashe TPing into a Gibby bubble gives you a lot of space and then a way to not die with taking that space right away. You either bubble, then Ashe TP out of it, or you Ashe TP and then bubble when you come out of the Ashe TP. Really good synergy between these two, and Ashe will be, like, the best character in the game, most likely. And then also, Fuse can util spam or ult or nade spam wherever you want to Ashe TP to, so people can't contest your Ashe TP. That's where I think Fuse is really going to shine here, is because he synergizes so well with, like, this comp. I'm telling you, like, I think people won't think about that, but how's someone going to contest your Ashe TP if you nade spam it or knuckle cluster spam it? Like, you really can't, to be honest. You can also use it to, like, break doors and stuff, so you can TP inside of, like, buildings if you have to. Also, the other thing, Assault class gets extra nade slots now. And I believe they can stack another nade already. So Fuse is gonna have, like, with only using, like, one inventory slot, you can have, like, 10 nades, basically. Because you're getting extra inventory slots already for nades because of Assault class in the new season. So you're gonna lose, like, no inventory to have infinite nades. And, you know, Fuse with nades, crazy. Also, Ashe tether with Fuse. You tether someone that nade spam or knuckle spam. Like, the synergy between these two is just insane. And I hope people realize that in the new season. Like, not that I want people to run Fuse because it's annoying, but I want to run Fuse. But yeah, I think Fuse will be, like, the one that if people realize what the synergy is there, they'll run Fuse with Ashe. That's what I'm thinking. And then Gibby, obviously, I put him in meta because he's not getting nerfed aside from the double heal, but I don't think that's why he's good. He's good just because shotguns are good, and then in this meta, like, you just need someone who can help you survive and then make a play. And I mean, Gibby, like, no one really beats him in terms of doing that. So, until they add, like, crypto EMP and Gibby or something, I just don't see him falling out of meta. But we'll see, I guess. We'll see, you know? Caustic. This is going to be my hot take on Caustic. I thought Caustic should go in A. And I know he's not as good as he used to be, but, like, Gibby Caustic has really good synergy too. Way more than at least Catalyst does, I'd say, with Gibby. And I also feel like with Ashe, like, if you weren't going to run Ashe, Fuse, Gibby, I feel like Ashe, Gibby, Caustic would be, like, the next best comp in my eyes. Because bubble fighting with a Caustic is just insane. And he can, like, stall other Gibbies from pushing you. So, that's why I'm thinking A. I might put him B for now. But you could argue he's A. That's what I would say. Horizon. With how aggressive the meta is about to be, I think Horizon is just A tier. It's going to be a more util heavy meta, I think. And Horizon obviously just kind of dominates in util heavy metas. So, yeah, I think Horizon's probably A. You could say A or B, but I'm going A. I think if you're an aggressive team, she's going to be, like, pretty huge. If you crutch her at least, you'll go crazy. And there is a lot of Horizon crutches, so, you know, they'll make it work. Lifeline competitively already really not important. And with the supports nerf next season, definitely less important than she already isn't already. So, you know, B tier. What I think. Yeah, when me, Hollow, and Raven played, we did have a Fuse at one point. I do think Fuse is good even back then. I think people just slept on Fuse for a long time. But you have to, like, you have to play around a Fuse. certain characters in the game you have to build your comp around, and some you can just throw in any comp. And like, I think Fuse, you kind of have to like build a comp around him. Luckily, I think with what's going to be meta, I think Fuse just fits into that. So I think he'll be really good for the new meta at least. Loba, I think C tier. She's very like POI dependent. The only time I'd say you would run Loba is if your POI is really bad. But otherwise, she just doesn't offer that much value in fights. I don't know though. I think she has more value than who's in C right now though. Because like she definitely has a place. It's just niche. Now I'm gonna give her B tier. She has a place. It just depends where you are. Maggie. I don't know. SMGs are gonna be better next season. So you're not like really gonna be a Maggie shotgun crutch for the most part. Like you can still run shotguns, obviously, they'll still be good, but your passive's not as important as like how it would be in this meta, I'd say. But yeah, definitely a good MNK character. She just like she doesn't counter Gibby. This is the problem. But actually, because you can out heal in the current meta, you can out heal Maggie's drill if you're a support character, which is what I think makes her kind of bad. But at least her drill, like, will be able to do decent against Gibby bubs now. I think the real issue is her ball not destroying Gibby Dome makes her fall off pretty hard, in my opinion. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll change. I think Maggie might have a place. It depends. Mirage. I guess B, purely because you can get Renaissance Man perk and get every beacon in the game. Or like every class too. I forgot how it works, but didn't you get like every beacon and like get to open every bin and scan packages? I'm really sure he's like a jack of all trades. So like I don't think he's insane, but he can kind of cover everything. So I think he's just like little average B person, you know? Newcastle, I'm putting B tier also. I think Newcastle's gonna fall out of meta. Like, not to the point where he's unplayable, but with the support nerfs, and then also every gun in the game doing more damage, I think you're not gonna need Rampart as much to destroy Newcastle wall. So I don't know. I just don't think he's gonna be that useful. Like, the only reason why you're really running him is just to stall a little bit, but you have like Ash and Fuse now who can actually stall pretty well too. You just aren't making cover out of nothing. I don't know. I think with every gun having higher time to kill, his walls will be easier to destroy even without Rampart, so I just don't think you'll really need him that much. So yeah, we keep it there. That's also why I put Maggie a little higher up than normal, even though I normally would C tier. But if Newcastle falls out of meta, then that means there's nothing to counter her drill. Because that's the only reason why you don't run Maggie now is because Newcastle is just going to eat your drill anyways, but she might have a chance. We'll see. Depends where Newcastle ends up. Octane, obviously D tier. Don't need to talk about it. He sucks. Literally useless. He's in the worst class in the game, and then he also just has no good util. So, I mean, I don't know why you'd ever play Octane competitively. Pathfinder, I mean, it speaks for itself. They freaking massacred our boy. He's in Skirmisher, and they hard nerfed him. Double L. Rampart. What do you guys think on Rampart? B or C? I think it's one of these two. I think Rampart's going to fall out of the meta. Because you only run Rampart right now basically to counter Newcastle. And I think Newcastle will fall out of meta. Obviously, she does nothing to really Gibby. Because his bub's invulnerable. And I don't really feel like putting down Rampart walls in a Gibby dome is that important. Especially because who are you going to run Rampart over when you have like Fuse, Ash, and Gibby, who I think are going to be insane? Like, who are you replacing in this comp with Rampart? Basically nobody. Oh yeah, also, I forgot to mention, one of Fuse's perks is he can hit Ring Console. So, I mean, you can run Fuse to replace any of the controllers, realistically, if you want to. That's also why I think he's sleeper meta pick. Because you can put him in this comp and have Ring Console. Pretty huge. Revenant. I don't know. Like, I'd rather have a Revenant. Like, even competitively, I'd rather have a Rev than any of these people. That is for sure. So I'll C tier him. I don't think he's like really good, but he beats what's in here. Remember, I'm thinking of this competitively. If we're talking like ranked or something, this would be different. But I don't see Rev being ran in comp ever, especially not in skirmisher. Seer, I mean, it's Seer. We don't have to talk about it. Dude, just he's like 10% of what he used to be. Velk. Velk's weird. I feel like I can't go higher than C. Like, I don't think she's horrible, but now you have Ash for rotates. And like you can have two portals and they go even further now than they used to. Like I don't think you need Velk at all. The only reason why I'm not giving her D is because I think the scans in the air are still pretty nice. But who are you replacing in the meta for a Velk? Like nobody. No, I don't think Velk can hit any beacons. Unless she has a perk for it, but as far as I'm aware, she does not have a perk for it. And she's not getting one either, so I don't know. Certain teams can make Velk work, but otherwise I think it's like troll. Vantage, D tier. I mean, shield meta. I mean, what's a sniper going to do against shields? Literally nothing. She's also just her movement ability, I feel like, is pretty mid. I don't know. I don't think she really fits anywhere in the game right now. They have to make her sniper insanely broken, I think, to ever make her meta. It's the only way. And also, I mean, again, look at the meta characters that I think will be meta, like all around this area. Who's Vantage replacing here? Nobody. Ain't no way. All right, Watson. If the meta goes the way I'm predicting, I think Watson will be A tier. Because if Fuse, Ash, Gibby are meta, or Horizon or Bang, like any of these right here, basically except Cat, Watson is going to be like the only solid counter to all the projectile spam. That and like kinda Gibby. But yeah, like if you want a solid controller legend on the team, I think Watson will be solid in the new season. Also, small hitbox, high time to kill. You know, like maybe this will help you survive a little bit. Who knows? I'm just trying to think of like if projectile spam becomes a thing, which I'm really thinking it will. Watson solid. She's always good in projectile metas. Yeah, I also do think her gen is kind of like buggy in the sense sometimes it eats things, sometimes it doesn't when it definitely should, but surely they fix it. It's not like Watson has been bugged the entire game since basically her release in season 2. I mean, you know, that's we're capping by the way if no one realized. Watson basically always has some type of bug in the game at all times. But in theory, she should be A tier in my eyes. And then Wraith, useless. Basically has been useless for like 20 seasons straight. So I don't know why people always cope over Wraith whenever I make tier lists or say, no, actually, Wraith is really good. No, she sucks. She's been bad for a long time. But they just don't want to buff her. I don't know. Especially when you have Ashe now is like you have Ashe for the TP. You don't need Wraith for the TP. I know like Wraith TP you can go backwards. Like you can take it back, but like why? I can't think of any scenarios where it even means anything. And then her tactical is also just useless. Like it doesn't offer any value in fights other than stalling your own death. So yeah, I mean that's what I would agree with. Like I think she's a selfish character. I don't know. She's just not relevant. She's in Skirmisher, so also horrible. And I mean, the best character in the new season is literally going to be Ashe, and like she also has a portal, but it's instant. So yeah, frick Wraith to be honest. That's about it though. We have all of our legends here. Do we have anything people disagree with? This is right here. If I wanted to just remove the sleeper meta pick, this is what I think the meta is going to be. At least that's what I want to play, but I think you would do good to run this. I think Bang would also be solid in here somewhere. But I don't know. I'm pretty happy with where everybody is.